What's up, dreamers? Welcome to another episode of Helpful Dreams. Today we're going to be diving into the teachings of Wayne Dyer, and we're going to be pulling out the key elements of Wayne Dyer's life philosophy. I know we've been focusing on some more higher vibrational concepts in the past few videos, such as productivity and business, but we're going to reel it back now and focus on some spirituality and mindset concepts. Wayne Dyer was an internationally renowned author and speaker in the fields of self-development and spiritual growth. Over the 4 decades of his career, he wrote more than 40 books, including 21 New York Times bestsellers. He created many audio and video programs and appeared on thousands of television radio shows. I believe that Wayne Dyer left the planet a better place than when he first came to it, and his life's work speaks for itself. I consistently refer to Wayne Dyer's work when I'm feeling overwhelmed by the information overload and intake from the world. Focusing on his teachings allows me to step back, come back to my center and find my ground, remember why I'm doing what I'm doing, and also feed the spiritual side of my being. And so it's really important to me. We're going to roll right into the first element of his life philosophy right now. Element number 1 of Wayne Dyer's life philosophy is cooperation is better than competition. He believes that you should be working on yourself hard enough to where it doesn't matter what others are doing and you're not focusing on others all the time. He believes that we're all in this together, and focusing on our separatedness and the nature of separation only makes us weaker and pulls us farther apart. It also puts us in the mindset of scarcity, which when we're constantly in the mindset of scarcity, it manifests scarcity into our lives. And so he suggests turning to a mindset of abundance where you know that there's enough to feed the world, there's enough out there for everyone to have their share. He states that if you're always in a hurry and always out to beat the other guy, then that person has control over you, because that's what motivates you. And so you really want to be motivated from within and be able to use your own faculties to motivate and inspire yourself. When you're constantly striving against competition, it means that they have control over your productivity and your success. Element number 2 is if you love someone, you will not try to change them. When you truly love someone, you love someone for who they are, not who you want them to be. A healthy relationship is formed when you can learn to love the person for who they are and give them space for who they are without trying to change them constantly. A healthy relationship does not involve you imposing your will on another person to change who they are. He states that true love is letting those you care about become who they are without insisting that they please you constantly. It's important to look at your relationships and find out if you truly are acting in a what's in it for me type of mindset, rather than letting those you care about or letting your partner become who they are and giving them space for that without judgment. Element number 3 of Wayne Dyer's philosophy is ignorance is not bliss. We must allow ourselves to broaden our minds each day by consuming new information and looking at new perspectives and choosing which of those perspectives we'll adopt into our own philosophy or not. Even if you're stepping out of your comfort zone 1% per day, you're making progress and you're broadening your mind. And without that, you can be stuck in a bubble, you could get stagnant and not progress towards where you want to be in life. He states that the highest form of ignorance is simply rejecting something simply because you know nothing about it. Element number 4 is that you are not a victim of your environment. We start playing the victim role when we say things like, you irritate me, or why are you treating me this way? And when you do that, unintentionally, you're giving that person your power. Wayne Dyer believes that if we accept accountability for our thoughts, feelings, and actions, then we no longer surrender to the outside forces that have an effect on our life, and it puts us in the state to respond rather than react to each situation. He states that how people treat you determines their karma, and how you react determines your own. Element number 5 is you discover yourself in solitude. He believes that one should spend time in solitude as much as they spend time in groups of people, and that you only truly get to know yourself when you're in solitude and when you're taking that time to go on a walk by yourself and ponder, where you're not constantly pulled and swayed in different directions from the emotions of others. And this is a key element to finding yourself spiritually and proceeding on your spiritual journey. He states that you can't be lonely if you enjoy the person with whom you're alone. Element number 6 is being rejected makes you stronger. He believes we'll always know where to go in life if we truly listen to our heart and our intuition and stick to that without taking no's and rejections too seriously and continuing to progress no matter what. No matter how many doors shut in your face, there's always a new door to open. He believes in the concept of abundance, and that there's always a new opportunity out there no matter how many opportunities close their doors on you. He states that we should be grateful to anyone who says no to you because they're keeping you on the right path to where you're meant to be. Element number 7 is that others cannot validate one's self-worth. He believes that you'll never be happy if you're constantly looking to others to be validated and you're looking for the approval of others, because everyone's perspective is different. Everybody lives different lives, and you're even different versions of yourself while you're around other people. So really, they're just getting a snapshot of a certain side of you, and you can't use just that vision of that certain side of you that they perceive to have an effect on how you think and believe about yourself. And to rely on this is to continuously just run yourself in a loop, and there's no way to progress in this way. You must first love yourself from within and proceed forward in that headspace. Understand that your reputation is not 100% in your control, and that if you're happy, there's always others out there that will be happy for you. And if you're unhappy, it's easy for others to be unhappy at you as well. And so it's learning to love yourself from within, become happiness, be happiness, and bring that into the world, and that will reflect back onto you. Element number 8 is you attract what you are, not what you want in life. People frequently believe that we can attract anything we desire just because we want it, but they don't do the self-work to become the person who deserves it. We truly become who we are, and when we become abundance and love, that's what comes into our lives. And if we become negativity and hardship and stress, that's what comes into our lives as well. It's a continuous struggle, and that's why we have to strive to work on ourselves to the best of our ability to control our overall vibration and our overall state of being in order to be in the same vibration of those things that we attract. It is really hard to claim abundance and pull abundance into your life when you are constantly negative and constantly playing a victim role. He states that all you get when you argue for your limitations is limitations themselves. Element number 9 is heaven is a decision to make, not a location to seek. This plays off of the previous element that we just covered, and it's about really stepping into that state, and instead of just feeling disappointed that you're not in a certain state of reality that you desire and you don't have the things that you want, it's important to take a step back and try to enjoy the process, enjoy where you're at, and become it in every present moment, instead of just living inside of a future vision and feeling like you're coming up short. We need to strive to feel whole in this current moment. He states that lovers live in a loving world and hostile people live in a hostile world. This is the same world. Element number 10 is there's no need to worry. Believe it or not, there's an invisible force that's permeating through the universe and creating everything that we perceive in this realm. The moment that we cease to try and control this invisible force is the moment that it actually becomes available to us. This is the moment that we allow events to take their natural course without trying to cause too much friction in our life, which leads to suffering and despair. Element number 11 is you already have everything you need. When you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut, just remember that everything that you need is available to you right at this moment. It's important to know that even when we're in moments of despair and depression, that there's nothing missing from us. We are whole. In this moment, this is what we were meant to be. This is where we were meant to be in order to have the epiphanies that we have, in order to continuously bring to the world the best of ourselves and become the best version of ourselves in the future. And going through these moments, it's easy to feel like a piece is missing from us, but remember that you are complete, you are whole in this moment. It's good to take at least 5 minutes each day in quietness and solitude to realize that you have access to happiness, you have access to relaxation, and these are what keep us whole. These are what keep us sane in life. So it's important to practice that.
Element number 12 is there's no end to personal growth.
Personal development and education does not end when we graduate high school. It's important to commit yourself to a life of learning. Wayne Dyer states that if you stop growing, then you stop living. The key to living a fulfilling life is to continue growing and always be in a state of growth. Sometimes growth doesn't feel good, and we can go into certain phases where growth is very difficult, but still we're living and we're experiencing life at its fullest. Never stop growing.
Element number 13 is be realistic but expect miracles.
A lot of people fall into the trap of always expecting the negative, and this is what puts them in a state to receive it. And so, for instance, if you're having a challenging time with your relationship and you're coming home from work and you're always expecting your spouse to have a negative reaction to things or act in a certain way, it prompts it to happen in your life. And so I challenge everyone, whether it's job interviews or interactions with people or going out on new endeavors, to expect the best and learn to expect the best, because that puts you in the situation to receive the best.
Element number 14 is to follow your heart and your passion.
This is a powerful truth that only few of us get to experience, is that when we give the best of us to the world, we receive the best. And so it's important to always commit to being the best version of yourself, striving to complete tasks to the best of your ability and do the best you can with everything you do, while listening to your heart and your intuition and staying true to yourself, because oftentimes we know the correct answer deep down inside, and we know the answers that we seek, and if we tap into that voice, it'll drive us towards the right path. He states that doing what you love is the foundation of an abundant life. All right, guys, that concludes our time today. I hope these ideas sunk in. I hope you choose which ones you want to take to adopt into your own philosophy. And I hope you continue to stay on track, stay motivated, stay positive during these hard times. And if you like this content, please subscribe. It helps us get the messages out to more people. I really appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you in the next one.